What up, y'all? This is your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio for Friday, May 29, 2015, delivering some of the major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo, that's RAYMELO, or on Twitter at The Enter Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Josh Duggar is slow in becoming persona non grata among the political rights. The 19 Kids and Counting star, a former welcome member in the Republican circles, has fallen from grace following last week's revelation that he has been accused of sexually molesting multiple underage girls, including some of his sisters. In addition to his participation in the TLC program, Duggar held a position with the Family Research Council, which he resigned from last week after the scandal broke. Duggar has served as an executive director of FRC Action, the council's legislative affiliate. As such, he had ample opportunity to rub elbows with GOP bigwigs. A Tumblr account devoted to the topic is filled with pictures of Duggar posing with high-profile Republican figures, including Sarah Palin, Rand Paul, Rick Perry, Jeb Bush, and Republican National Committee Chairman Reince Priebus. But this week, conservative figures have begun to offer Duggar harsh words instead of handshakes. On Wednesday, conservative CNN commentator Ben Ferguson delivered a harsh rebuke of Duggar and his family. He also had choice words for former Arkansas governor and current Republican presidential candidate Mike Huckabee, one of the few conservative figures to actually publicly support Duggar since the scandal broke. Ferguson asserted on CNN, "At this point, anyone who stands with them, I think, would be irresponsible. It sends the wrong message." He also added, "You have a family that cared more about protecting the brand of this family and being a total fraud than they did about the welfare of children that were being abused by one of their own." On Thursday, more criticism came, this time from former Pennsylvania Senator Rick Santorum, who also thrown his hat into the ring for the 2016 presidential election. Santorum did not mince words in an interview with George Stephanopoulos on ABC's Good Morning America. Santorum said of the molestation scandal, "I was sickened by it. I was just sickened by it. I pray for those girls in particular to have gone through that is just hard to think about." The condemnation was a far cry from 2012, when the Duggar family endorsed Santorum in his presidential bid. Suffice to say, another endorsement will probably not be forthcoming, nor it would be welcoming. Last week, after news of the molestation allegations broke, Duggar issued a statement admitting, "12 years ago, as a young teenager, I acted inexcusably, for which I am extremely sorry and deeply regret. I hurt others, including my family and close friends." He also added, "I confess this to my parents, who took several steps to help me address the situation. We spoke with the authorities, where I confessed my wrongdoing, and my parents arranged for me and those affected by my actions to receive counseling. I understood that if I continued down this wrong road, that I would end up ruining my life." Since then, TLC has pulled the show from its schedule, though it's not yet officially canceled the series. 19 Kids and Counting has also seen a pile of advertisers, including Walgreens and Kohl's, yank their support from the show. Time will tell how many more sponsors and politicians will pull their support from Team Duggar by the time the scandal has run its course. It should be no surprise by now that Ben Affleck's Batman will be back in action in David Ayer's Suicide Squad. In a video a fan shot while observing the Toronto production shows him hunting the Joker in what appears to be an exciting action scene. The Dark Knight rides atop what has previously been identified as the Joker's souped-up sports car, no doubt a continuation of the chase scene that appears in a previously leaked video from the set. Fans were abuzz when Affleck, who will make his first big-screen appearance as Batman in Zack Snyder's upcoming Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice, was spotted in what appeared to be Bruce Wayne's attire on the set. With Affleck listed as a cast member on IMDb, as well as the new stunts footage, fans should be even more excited that the Caped Crusader will be making more than just a quick cameo. There have been a number of leaks from the set of the David Ayer film, including one of a scene featuring Jared Leto as the Joker and his main squeeze Harley Quinn, played by Margot Robbie. Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch is on the market. The property is now called the Sycamore Valley Ranch and is listed for $100 million by Sotheby's International Realty and Hilton and Highland, according to Wall Street Journal. Jackson bought the ranch in 1987 for $19.5 million and lived there for 15 years. After the singer defaulted on a $24.5 million loan backed by the ranch, real estate investment firm Colony Capital entered into a joint title with Jackson, intending to make upgrades and sell the property. Located in Los Ovilos, California, the property spans over 2,700 acres and houses 22 structures, including a 12,000 square foot, 6-bedroom main house with attached staff quarters, a 4-bedroom guest house, and another 2-bedroom guest house. The property also features a swimming pool, a basketball court, a tennis court, and a 50-seat movie theater. The train tracks and station built by Jackson still stands, as does the iconic floral clock spelling out Neverland. The Tony Awards' first ever Live from the Red Carpet production will be hosted by Broadway stars Darren Criss and Lauren Osnes, with George Takei serving as an official fan correspondent. The Broadway League and the American Theater Wing announced on Friday. Randy Zuckerberg will serve as the tech social correspondent, Blake Ross will be the theater correspondent, and Emilio Sosa will talk to the nominees about their outfits as the fashion correspondent during the 2 hour and 30-minute live stream. Viewers who can watch the red carpet action on TonyAwards.com, CBS.com, Playbill.com, and Timeout.com between 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In partnership with Stage17.tv and Playbill, the live special will also showcase exclusive behind-the-scenes features showcasing the nominated shows and actors of the 2014-2015 Broadway season. The live special will be produced by red carpet specialist Eddie Delbridge, who's known for doing the E! Live from the red carpet, in conjunction with Cyrano Coin and Getty Image Videos. Chris, best known to the majority of the country for starring in Glee, is currently starring on Broadway as the lead of Hedwig and the Angry Inch, the 2014 Tony Award-winning Best Musical Revival. Osnes, a two-time Tony nominee, Osnes has been seen in Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella, Bonnie and Clyde, Anything Goes, and Grease. Takei, an actor best known for Star Trek, will soon be seen on Broadway in Allegiance, a musical based on Takei's childhood experience in a Japanese-American internment camp. Heather Hutchinson, the president of the American Theater Wing, and Charlotte St. John's, president of the Broadway League, said in a joint statement, "There's no experience quite like being on the Tony Awards red carpet. The energy and excitement of the nominees, presenters, and performers as they are about to enter Radio City Music Hall is exhilarating, and we are thrilled to share this unique experience with Broadway fans around the world live for the first time." Full House star John Stamos revealed Thursday that his co-star Bob Saget will join Netflix's series spinoff Fuller House. Stamos posted to Twitter, "Last but not least, best piece of casting yet, the great Bob Saget will be joining on our show on Netflix. This completes the perfect reunion." Saget later joked in a reply, "How did you get this information? Kidding. Love you, Jesse." Saget appeared in the popular 90s ABC sitcom as Dad Danny Tanner, while Stamos played his brother-in-law Jesse Castanopoulos. Stamos is also co-executive producing in addition to his guest starring in Fuller House. Also returning for the Netflix series, Candace Cameron Burke will appear as G.J. Tanner, Lori Loughlin as Rebecca Castanopoulos, while Andrea Barber reprises her role as Kimmy Gibbler. Dave Coulier, who played Uncle Jesse, will appear in at least one episode. When news broke that the twins Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, who played Michelle Tanner, would not return for the spinoff, Stamos tweeted, hashtag heartbroken. "I understand they're in a different place and I wish them the best." He then posted on Twitter, "I promise you will not be disappointed with our reunion and spinoff." He later wrote on Facebook, "Just so you reporters know, this is not a money gig for any of us, quite the opposite. We want to give the fans what they deserve for supporting us for so many years. We also just want to have fun, do it in a classy way on Netflix and have a good time. Sad that a few don't share the rest of the cast's opinion. I can only wish them the best, JS." Fuller House will also feature at least 3 children, DJ's 2 sons and Kimmy's daughter. Actor Reynaldo Rey, who appeared in films Friday and White Man Can't Jump, died Thursday. The actor and comedian was 75. Rey's manager, Vincil Burke, told the Associated Press that the actor died at a Los Angeles hospital from complications after suffering a stroke. A native of the Sequoia County, Oklahoma, Rey earns a bachelor's degree in education from Kansas State Teachers College. He later launched his career in comedy in Cleveland, where he was a teacher and performed theater. He then moved to New York City, joined the Harlem Theater Group, and made his first film. After moving to Hollywood, Rey met comedian Redd Foxx and opened for Fox for 18 years in Las Vegas and on tour in the United States. The actor appeared in over 50 films, including House Party 3, A Rage in Harlem, and Harlem Nights. He also has 32 television shows to his credit, including BET's Comic View from 1998, 1999, 2000, 2001, on which he co-hosts The Tonight Show, Sister Sister, Parents in Crime, Parenthood, 227 as Rey the Mailman, Sanford and Son, and The Royal Family. He also recorded 3 comedy albums and 3 videos. Rey is survived by his wife, daughter, 2 sons, and mother. Industry colleagues, including DJ Pooh, who played the actor's son Red in Friday, as well as comedian actors Jackie Harry and BET chairman and CEO Deborah Lee, paid tribute to Rey on social media. The rise of Netflix is often cited as the driving force behind the binge viewing fad. Indeed, Netflix subscribers are known for their dedicated consumption, often sitting down for multiple hours at a time to watch past episodes of shows like Breaking Bad. Now, with the introduction of live streaming apps like Periscope and Meerkat, we may need to address a new fad: binge broadcasting. Speaking Thursday at the Red Coat Codes conference in Rancho Palos Verdes, California, Periscope CEO Kayvon Bigpour said that people using the live stream app have created 380 years worth of broadcasts in the 8 weeks since Periscope launched it. While he didn't divulge how many people are using the app, that figures suggest that Periscope is amazing an army of global broadcasters. But will its busier users still have time to watch traditional television? The answer may depend on how much TV migrates to live stream apps. As Bakeport noted at the Code conference, some of the broadcasters creating original content on Periscope come from the world of traditional media, heavyweights like Oprah Winfrey and Ellen DeGeneres. For the most part, though, big media continues to distribute content in the traditional way, treating live stream apps as complementary viewing options, behind the scenes looking at their bread and butter broadcasts, Ask Me Anything sessions for top talents, etc. That content, however, is competing with live stream generated by people who likely didn't consider themselves broadcasters a few months ago. There are only so many hours in the day for this new group of broadcasters to devote to traditional TV viewing. One factor to watch is the addictive nature of live streaming apps. Periscope Power users are spending what amounts to hours of their time each day broadcasting snippets from their lives. At that point, we don't know how many people fall into the obsessed category, but we do know it's easier to put down a remote control than a smartphone. Given the ubiquity of smartphones, venture capitalist Mary Meeker noted earlier this week that there were 5.2 billion mobile phone users in 2014, or 73% of the world's population. Binge broadcasting could pose a bigger threat than even Netflix or to traditional TV. Pop star Mariah Carey has been candid about her beef with American Idol in the past, but now that Fox has announced the show will end after a 15th season, the former judge is doubling down on how much she hated the experience. The Infinity singer, currently in the midst of a Las Vegas residency, called in to an Australian radio show Thursday where the host asked if she would be open to returning for Idol's final episode should the producers ask. Carey said, "Hell no, absolutely not. That was the worst experience of my life." Carey, who reportedly earned $18 million for one season as a judge alongside Randy Jackson, Keith Urban, and Nicki Minaj. Carey told radio personalities Kyle and Jackie O, "I don't think they had any intentions for us to have a good experience during the show. Pitting two females against each other wasn't cool," referencing her very public clash with Minaj. It should have been about the contestants instead of some non-existent feud that turned into even more ridiculousness. The diva even went as far as to call the show fake, saying it forced the judges to speak at length about the contestants' performance, even when they had little to say. Carey complained, "It's so boring and so fake. I'm sorry, I just think when I say it's fake, I mean you have to make up things to say about people. When a performance is good, I want to say it's good and end it there. Iowa will return in January for its final season, closing out with current judges Urban, Jennifer Lopez, and Harry Connick Jr. Fox TV Group co-chairman and CEO Gary Newman recently said, "We want to do it in a way that felt special and celebratory." An attorney for Suge Knight filed a motion prior to Friday's pretrial hearing that the murder charges against the Death Row mogul be dismissed. Attorney Matt Fletcher said that because of one of the two victims of the fatal hit-and-run incident, January 29th, actor Clee Bone Sloan refused to identify Knight as the driver at a preliminary hearing in April. There is no evidence to support the case against Knight. Fletcher wrote in his motion, "There's nowhere in this transcript that Mr. Sloan ever identified Mary Knight as the defendant as a murderer," the Associated Press reports. He also added, "There's nowhere in the entire script that Mr. Sloan even identifies Mary Knight as a driver of the red truck in question, the red truck that hit the victims." In the prosecution's response to Fletcher's motion, they admit that while Sloan did not finger Mary Knight like Fletcher contends, the actor did say Suge. They also provide other evidence that reinforced Knight's alleged involvement. Knight was charged with murder, attempted murder, and hit and run for the incident outside a Compton hamburger stand. After being held on a $25 million bail and fainting in court, Knight pleaded not guilty to all charges. In April, Sloan admitted that he was the aggressor in the incident that left his friend Terry Carter dead. However, despite suffering multiple serious injuries after being hit by Knight's SUV, Sloan testified that he refused to be a snitch and that his memory of the hit and run has become blurry. Sloan said, "I will not be used to send Suge Knight to prison." However, prosecutors still had Sloan's original statement to police as well as surveillance footage of the incident as evidence against Knight. If the judge oversees the case denies Fletcher's call for dismissal, the trial is scheduled to begin July 7th. If convicted, Knight faces life in prison. 4 decades later, it's still not safe to go back in the water. Steven Spielberg's seminal 1975 summer blockbuster is returning to theaters for a limited release to celebrate the film's 40th anniversary, according to The Hollywood Reporter. Fathom Events will screen the movie with a special introduction from TMC's weekend daytime host Ben Mankiewicz on Sunday, July 21st and Wednesday, June 24th at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. local times in theaters across the U.S. Spielberg's second featured film as director was co-written by Peter Benchley and Carl Gottlieb, and an adaptation from Benchley's 1974 novel of the same title. The film stars Roy Schneider as Martin Brody, the police chief of fictional New England's resort town Amity Island, where a giant killer whale shark has left the people in terror. Brody is joined by an oceanographer played by Richard Dreyfuss and a shark hunter played by Robert Shaw in an attempt to bring down the beast. The movie's established Spielberg's trademark camera work with its dramatic close-ups and visual splendor, and John Williams' nerve-wracking, Oscar-winning orchestral score, particularly the two-note string pattern of the iconic shark theme, has become synonymous with cinematic suspense. Produced on a budget under $10 million, Jaws went on to earn over $460 million at the box office and remain one of the highest-grossing films of all time. It's also one of the most acclaimed American movies, ranking at number 56 on AFI's latest Top 100 list. Pixar's animation Inside Out is headed for a box office opening of around $60 million when it debuts on June 19th for Disney, according to preliminary tracking that came online Thursday. Jurassic World looks more of a monster than initially thought based on the new numbers, which also suggests that Dope, an urban comedy acquired at the Sundance Film Festival by Open Road, is poised for a solid start. Inside Out is set in the mind of a young girl where 5 emotions, joy, anger, disgust, fear, and sadness, battle it out. The buzz has been very strong in the wake of a well-received presentation at the Cannes Film Festival last week and last month's CinemaCon gathering of theater owners. Amy Poehler, Bill Hader, Mindy Kaling, and Liz Black have lent their voices to Inside Out, which is directed by Peter Docter and Rolando Del Carmen. Inside Out will be the first Pixar movie to hit the market in 2 years because The Good Dinosaur, which had been scheduled for May last year, was pushed to November of this year. The latest pre-release data has the June 12th release of Jurassic World debuting as high as $110 million, a very strong number for a sequel based on a 22-year-old original. Significantly, Universal's marketing team is building momentum for the film, which is tracking at around $100 million just 1 week ago. Jurassic Park, the Steven Spielberg-produced 1993 action-adventure film that spawned this sequel, was one of the first global blockbusters. It crossed a billion-dollar mark at the worldwide box office in 2013, thanks to a 3D field re-release that brought in $65 million. Chris Pratt from Guardians of the Galaxy stars alongside Bryce Dallas Howard, Jake Johnson, and Vince D'Onofrio. It's directed by Colin Trevorrow and produced by Frank Marshall and Patricia Crowley and executive produced by Spielberg. Legendary helped to fund the action-adventure film, which has a production budget of around $150 million. Riot director Rick Famuyiwa's urban comedy Dope was one of the hottest titles at Sundance earlier this year. It set off a biting war with domestic rights going to open road to foreign to Sony for around $7 million. Open Road will love to get into double digits with the film, which stars newcomer Shameik Moore, stars as a young man tasked with juggling his academic pursuits while also trying to survive in a tough Los Angeles neighborhood. The indie distributor sees long-paying potentials in the June 19th release, which would be a rarity for Sundance acquisitions. Two that defy the odds were 1999's The Blair Witch Project, which opened wide with $29 million on its way to $140.5 million, and 2006 Little Miss Sunshine, which debuted to $5.6 million but ultimately tallied $60 million domestically. Zoe Kravitz, Aesop Rocky, Tyga, Keith Stanfield, Chanel Iman, Quincy, and Ray Fox co-star in the film. Forrest Whitaker produced, Pharrell Williams executive produced, and Sean P. Diddy Combs co-executive produced. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's San Andreas rumbled to $3.1 million at the Thursday's box office, an impressive first step for the 3D earthquake action film. That haul has more than doubled the $1.4 million Thursday night take of Gravity, the similarly 3D disaster thriller from Warner Brothers that debuted with $55.7 million in October 2013. And it's way ahead of Aloha, the Bradley Cooper Emma Stone romantic comedy from Cameron Crowe from Sony, which managed $500,000 in its debut Thursday. Thursday shows aren't always indicative of how the weekend will go at the box office, but this one probably is. The PG-13 rated San Andreas is expected to roll to $40 million, take away the number one spot from Disney's sci-fi adventure film Tomorrowland, and swamp the weekend's other wide opener Aloha. Aloha stars Bradley Cooper, Emma Stone, Rachel McAdams, and Bill Murray, and is projected to bring in roughly $10 million over the 3 days. San Andreas, which is directed by Brad Payton, co-stars Paul Giamatti, Collard Guiguino, and Joan Gruffudd, will have some to top Gravity. The space epic from director Alfonso Cuarón starred Sandra Bullock and George Clooney and was a box office game-changer because while there had been other big openings, it was the first film to deliver blockbuster grosses in October. San Andreas will be in 3,777 theaters as of Friday, while Gravity opened in 3,575. Aloha will be opening in 2,815 theaters for Sony. Positive word of mouth rather than large grosses is what Sony is hoping the romantic comedy can generate this weekend, but it will have to overcome some rough reviews. It currently is at a dismissal 15% positive, with 81 reviews counting on Rotten Tomatoes. And finally, Harrison Ford is back on top of the world. The Star Wars actor took to the skies on Thursday for the first time since his small airplane crash in March, this time opting to co-pilot a helicopter. There were no issues on the calm day as the man behind Indiana Jones enjoyed some time in the cockpit of a Bell 307 bird. People magazine reported that Ford was in the air for a few hours and seemed understandably happy to be back to his top hobby. One of Ford's planes went down at Santa Monica Golf Course on March 5th, causing a scary scene and immediately uncertainty about the action star's well-being. Eventually, he was deemed to be in fair to moderate condition. Following engine failure, Ford had been forced to crash land his World War II-era airplane, a Ryan Aeronautical Model STKKR, built in 1942. The 72-year-old was previously involved in 2 other crashes in the past. In 2000, he crashed a 6-passenger plane in Lincoln, Nebraska, while the previous year he crashed a helicopter 60 miles outside of Los Angeles. And that is your entertainment report for Friday, May 29, 2015. I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo. I'll be back on Monday to deliver some of the major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter. Facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo. That's RAYMELO. Or on Twitter @The Enter Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio anytime you want. Just go to iHeart.com or any of the apps. Search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Have a great weekend, everybody. Good night, and God bless you all. Bye.